According to national health researchers, supported by the Thai Health Promotion Foundation, Thai students study the hardest in the world after Japan, resulting in 900,000 students dropping out each year, and the trend is increasing. As a result, 386,250 of them chose illegal occupations to earn tuition. It was also found that they study 8 to 10 lessons a day, and some students are so bored that they don't want to study. Worryingly, 87% of Thai students only have 10 minutes a day to talk to their parents.
Of Thai education is bad. Thai education have many problems, especially grade problem. People's aptitude are different, comparing one person grade to another and deciding who is better. Missionary student with grade is like taking a student who is good at math compared with a student who is good at language. Each student teaches by a grade by average. Stop comparing one person academic performance to another because it cannot be compared. Some students are taught to contrarily compare themselves to others, like social competition, create social pressure and trying to impose on students in the region. Proud of beating other through teaching, both teacher and family tend to value sharing with high grade more than sharing with low grade. Students should just be good at what they are good at and not good at being on average. All problems are caused by indoctrination in education, individuals or family. That give wrong value to sharing, even though grades are not true. Comparison or sharp to classify people. Thailand places great value on grade or degree to the price of forgetting the value of humanity.
It's unfortunate that every student is not adopted for learning memorization, so children could be in a state full of being forced to memorize. And for some teachers, they may not be teaching to understand the content because the purpose of the course syllabus is to memorize anyway. For the long term, it can have an effect on students who cannot deal with uncomfortable situations because they have been taught to only follow the handbook. There are many ways to improve the education system. That does not mean only memorize and lecture into the book. It is the same as a 100 years old school.
I think it is not good because education should not be limited in classroom. Thai education should support children to do activity. It makes they know what they want to do or like. When I was high school, I learn and study at 8 o'clock and finish at 4 p.m. It's very boring because we study in classroom all day. It's about 7 hours. Then we come back home and do homework too. It have a little bit time to do anything whatever we want to do or like. If Thailand consider about this, it can develop other skills, whether it's management, time to make relationship with people to discover and know yourself more.
There are many good Thai teachers, but a good teacher will be able to teach students to understand, teach with quality, create a good feeling among students, understand students, make students feel safe and trust if not much. In my experience, I met a bad teacher with a habit of bullying students. I was insulted as being stupid in math because I got bad grades. I feel very sad and pressured, and I didn't want anyone to go through the same situation as me again. It was very bad experience. In addition, there are teachers who do not attend to teach, have not professionalism, and nowadays there are many teachers who lack ethics and tend to increase if they are not corrected.
Do you wonder why Thailand education is lagging behind and inefficient? Today we will invite you to exchange our point of view about the reason why Thailand education is lagging behind by raising the example of the best education system country in the world as Finland to make a comparison with. Finland is one of the countries with the best education systems in the world. Finnish education is child-centered, which focuses on ensuring a balanced quality of life for students throughout the school. Educational equality results in children learning and promotes the attributes and attitude of being good members of society. In spite of the fact that Thai children study hard, this is number 1. Average 1,200 hours per year compared to Finland, which averages only 670 hours per year. It is less efficient than Finland because Finland is equal in education. 1. All children have the right to free education in equal quality educational institutions across the country. 2. Learning through play. Finland places great emphasis on education, especially at the preschool level, which is an important period of learning. They allow children to study 5 hours a day and allow them to live and learn about their surroundings. The class hours are divided into 15 minutes for play and 45 minutes for academic study, which complement activities that interest children and help them learn the skills they deserve, such as arts, crafts, ethics, and music. Finland focuses on teaching children to be active learning. Active learning is a learning management process according to the concept of intellectual creation that focuses on the learning process rather than the subject content. To help learners connect knowledge or create knowledge to happen in themselves with a practical method through media or learning activities with teachers as a guide, stimulator, or convenience, let the learner create an advanced thinking process. That is, the learner has an analysis, synthesis, and evaluation of what is obtained from learning activities to make learning meaningful and used in other situations effectively. 4. Personal learning. The education system in Finland does not have a test to measure the level of competition at both the school level and the individual level, providing equal education standards so that all students can aim for their goals according to their interests and personal aptitudes without educational restrictions. 5. Measuring the learning standards of students in Finland is done through qualitative assessment methods in various forms for the development of learning and emotional and social skills in children, not a test that focuses on memorization and quantitative ability. 6. Children in Finland start their education at the age of 7. There are hours of study in short schools and little homework, so children have time to learn about the outside world by themselves through playing and doing activities that they are good at. They are interested in promoting desirable basic characteristics for the age to grow up. 7. Finnish education courses use technological innovations to enhance the learning experience through effective practice. 8. The Finnish education system offers everyone access and unlimited educational opportunities, making it a society of lifelong learning. 9. All students in Finland will be supported despite learning restrictions. 10. Teachers in Finland will be trained and must graduate with a master's degree or higher, and supported by the freedom to develop their own teaching methods. Quality to stimulate the self-development of teachers as well. The teacher profession is considered the most respected profession by the public, which is the principle of quality education as follows. Target 4.1 by 2030. Ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable and quality primary and secondary education leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. The provision of 12 years of free, publicly funded, inclusive, equitable, quality primary and secondary education, of which at least 9 years are compulsory, leading to relevant learning outcomes, should be ensured for all, without discrimination. Target 4.2 by 2030. Ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care and pre-primary education so that they are ready for primary education. The provision of at least 1 year of free and compulsory quality pre-primary education is encouraged, to be delivered by well-trained educators, as well as that of early childhood development and care. Target 4.3 by 2030. Ensure equal access for all women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational and tertiary education. Including university, it is imperative to reduce barriers to skills development and technical and vocational education and training, TVET, starting from the secondary level, as well as to tertiary education, including university, and to provide lifelong learning opportunities for youth and adults. The provision of tertiary education should be made progressively free, in line with existing international agreements. Target 4.4 by 2030. Substantially increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills, for employment, decent jobs and entrepreneurship. 1. Access. Equitable access to TVET needs to be expanded while quality is ensured. Learning opportunities should be increased and diversified, using a wide range of education and training modalities, so that all youth and adults, especially girls and women, can acquire relevant knowledge, skills and competencies for decent work and life. 2. Skills acquisition. Beyond work-specific skills, emphasis must be placed on developing high-level cognitive and non-cognitive, transferable skills, such as problem-solving, critical thinking, creativity, teamwork, communication skills and conflict resolution, which can be used across a range of occupational fields. Target 4.5 by 2030. Eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, Indigenous peoples and children in vulnerable situations. 1. Inclusion and equity. All people, irrespective of sex, age, race, color, ethnicity, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property or birth, as well as persons with disabilities, migrants, indigenous peoples, and children and youth, especially those in vulnerable situations or other status, should have access to inclusive, equitable quality education and lifelong learning opportunities. Vulnerable groups that require particular attention and targeted strategies include persons with disabilities, indigenous peoples, ethnic minorities and the poor. 2. Gender equality. All girls and boys, women and men, should have equal opportunity to enjoy education of high quality, achieve at equal levels and enjoy equal benefits from education. adolescent girls and young women who may be subject to gender-based violence, child marriage, early pregnancy and a heavy load of household chores, as well as those living in poor and remote rural areas, require special attention. In contexts in which boys are disadvantaged, targeted action should be taken for them. Policies aimed at overcoming gender inequality are more effective when they are part of an overall package that also promotes health, justice, good governance and freedom from child labor. Target 4.6 by 2030. Ensure that all youth and a substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. The principles, strategies and actions for this target are underpinned by the contemporary understanding of literacy as a continuum of proficiency levels in a given context. It goes beyond the understanding of a simple dichotomy of literate versus illiterate. Therefore, action for this target aims at ensuring that by 2030, all young people and adults across the world should have achieved relevant and recognized proficiency levels in functional literacy and numeracy skills that are equivalent to levels achieved at successful completion of basic education. Target 4.7 by 2030. Ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, promotion of a culture of peace and nonviolence, global citizenship and appreciation of cultural diversity and of culture's contribution to sustainable development. It is vital to give a central place to strengthening education's contribution to the fulfillment of human rights, peace and responsible citizenship from local to global levels, gender equality, sustainable development and health. The content of such education must be relevant, with a focus on both cognitive and non-cognitive aspects of learning. The knowledge, skills, values and attitudes required by citizens to lead productive lives, make informed decisions and assume active roles locally and globally in facing and resolving global challenges can be acquired through Education for Sustainable Development (ESD) and Global Citizenship Education (GCED), which includes peace and human rights education, as well as intercultural education and education for international understanding. Target 4. Build and upgrade education facilities that are child, disability and gender sensitive and provide safe, non-violent, inclusive and effective learning environments for all. This target addresses the need for adequate physical infrastructure and safe, inclusive environments that nurture learning for all, regardless of background or disability status. Target 4. By 2020, substantially expand globally the number of scholarships available to developing countries, in particular least developed countries, small island developing states and African countries, for enrollment in higher education, including vocational training and information and communications technology, technical, engineering and scientific programs, in developed countries and other developing countries. Scholarship programs can play a vital role in providing opportunities for young people and adults who would otherwise not be able to afford to continue their education. Where developed countries offer scholarships to students from developing countries,
These should be structured to build the capability of the developing country. While the importance of scholarships is recognized, donor countries are encouraged to increase other forms of support to education. In line with the 4 Sudanese pounds Education 2030 focus on equity, inclusion and quality, scholarships should be transparently targeted at young people from disadvantaged backgrounds. Target 4. See by 2030, substantially increase the supply of qualified teachers, including through international cooperation for teacher training in developing countries. Especially least developed countries and small island developing states teachers are the key to achieving all of the 4 Sudanese pounds targets. It requires urgent attention, with a more immediate deadline. Because the equity gap in education is exacerbated by the shortage and uneven distribution of professionally trained teachers, especially in disadvantaged areas. As teachers are a fundamental condition for guaranteeing quality education, teachers and educators should be empowered, adequately recruited and remunerated, motivated, professionally qualified, and supported within well-resourced, efficient and effectively governed systems. When looking back at the Thai education system, which is always seen as lagging behind and failing, information from the Department of Mental Health, Ministry of Public Health, revealed in 2011 that Thai children have a wisdom level of 98.59, which is lower than the median of the world's wisdom at the level of 100. The Thai children in the Northeast have the least intelligence. Higher is therefore in the southern region, the northern region, and the central region, respectively. Thai children are always below the standard, or even the education of the Organization for Economics, Cooperation and Development, OECD. Known as PISA, Program for International Students Assessment, found that Thai students can be classified as having a high level of science knowledge, only 1%. Even though we spend more than 8 hours teaching per day, PISA also found that 74% of Thai children do not know about Thai. That is, since they can't read and interpret, don't analyze the meaning correctly, or even use language to be useful in other subjects. But we look at these conditions with habituation and still believe that our children must be developed by traditional education management today. The problem of the teacher's career. Thailand produces about 12,000 teachers per year, while the recruitment rate of new teachers each year is only 3–4,000. This means that each year, almost 10,000 graduates will be unemployed. But overall, Thailand is still considered to have a shortage of teachers, especially teachers in important subjects such as science, mathematics, language, etc. It was found that there is no clear policy to support graduates in the field that matches the content. On the contrary, it also found measures of deprivation, such as requiring people to receive a teacher's professional license to study for at least 1 year, etc. In addition, the debt problems of teachers must admit that Thailand has a salary structure in the ancient government system that is not suitable for the current situation. These are the problems that have affected the nation for many generations. But it is still not changing or developing in a better way. But again, the most direct problem is Thai youth. Because the education of Thailand started with the culture of Thai people, who have been taught since ancient times to obey teachers, therefore, students are afraid, do not dare to ask, do not answer. Cultivated until now, it is still a system that listens only to teachers, do not dare to think, do not dare to comment, and do not analyze. Thai education is a feed-only system. There is no exchange, or there is very little interest in pursuing self-knowledge, causing children to not think and can't analyze. The more emphasis is placed on the necessary exam, based on the principle, students will only memorize. Moreover, society cultivates students to be good people, which students will compete without thinking about other things. When they are severely disappointed, they cannot solve their own problems. In addition, teaching in schools does not have the same standard. Equipment and teaching materials are very different. Whether it is a government school or a private school, the provinces do not have any teaching materials at all, while Bangkok has many, making children have different standards and bring the same criteria to measure, causing educational failure. And in the school, it is not fully taught because it wants students to study, which brings more income. Another thing that reflects the slow development of the education system is the tutoring institution. It can be seen that it is very interesting. There are many learners with very expensive tuition fees. But these businesses can still exist. It shows that there are more and more people studying. If there is good teaching in the school, the children will not have to study.
Present, Thailand has been facing the problem of educational inequality for a long time. For example, access to educational rights of children in rustic areas will be more difficult to access educational rights than children in city. The movie name คิดถึงวิทยา can be seen that the government does not have access to rural educational as much as may prevent children from being as well educated as they should be, leading to an education that leaves children behind. The official solution is that the government should support the right to education sufficiently. For example, the government must provide compulsory education to all children free to charge, improve teaching and learning so that learners can study according to their aptitude, and teacher production system to increase teaching and learning efficiently. Thailand adheres to the study results more than the quality of children who have graduated. As a result, children are under too much pressure about studying until children focus only on studying, do not have a life like idioms. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Therefore, I don't want to take academic results and indicators. I want to look at the students' real ability rather than academic results.
Create an environment for learning between teacher and students so that children feel especially safe. Children can consult with teacher, not frightened. Start at stage from studying. General right problem, include social aspect. Give advice and help find solution.
We should fit the teaching environment in Thailand education, especially learning that emphasize memorization. Create a good atmosphere suitable for teaching and learning to make students happy in learning more than creamy academic knowledge to get high score and grade. And individual education, including learning standard method with self-learning model. Take enough time when planning a lecture or tutorial, budget enough time for understanding the problem and defining the goal, both individually and as a class. Dealing with questions from the teacher and student, making, finding and fitting mistakes, and solving entire problem in a single session. Help students understand the problem solving can be difficult and tedious. In order to solve the problem, students need to define the end goal. The start is crucial to successful learning of problem solving. If you succeed at helping students answer the question, what and why, find the answer, how will be easier.
Teaching a student to do activity in order to be able to learn to socialize and self-discovery. What each person is aptitudes, as giving personal time to students is important. Learning will be successful if given some time to relax.
Thai education will improve if ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all.